First night on the road in our truck camper. We stayed at a place called Hidden Ranch, I think. Maybe Ranch or Ranch? Last night we stayed at Hidden Ranch near Linville, Alabama. We had tried Harvest Host and Boondockers, and things wasn't working out too well with those guys because you need to make advance reservations. And anyway, someone turned us on to a place called Hip Camp. You make reservations online, instantaneous, and it's all done online. So this place only has a handful of campsites, so we got here in the dark and navigated our way in. There's no one here on site. They gave us the code to the gate. We got in. Pretty neat and accommodating, very remote. Listen, very, very remote, and there's a few campers out here, but I don't think anybody's staying in them, so we were basically by ourselves. And there we are, we're ready to pull out. It's warming up this morning. There's a travel trailer there, and I don't think anyone's staying there. It's all covered up. But there's a shower, and that's pretty cool. I got to show you this shower. We did not use it. We used the shower in the camper, and by the way, it is very, very tight in there. It's called a wet shower. The toilet shower is all in one place, but this is the shower here. In order for this thing to work, you have to come behind the little shower house, and you have to screw the water hose in. Then you have to turn the gas tank on, and it's inside. Watch this. And here it is here. It even tells you how to turn the shower on. But look, that's the shower. And it's a instantaneous hot water heater, or hot water on demand. It's made from 2 totes screwed together. How ingenious is that? It's definitely for the primitive camper. There is an outhouse that you can use. And there's a little pond down there, and last night when we came in, it had water shooting up, and it was colored. Fire ring, you can come sit beside the fire, and there's an old school bus. Trails. Pretty neat place for only 35 bucks. Well, I was wrong all around. It's Hidden Branch, not Hidden Ranch. I thought it was Branch. It's Hidden Branch. Branch. And apparently here's where we are. We're approximately 27 miles off of Interstate 20 in Alabama. It got down in the 20s last night, but we stayed fairly warm inside. As I said, it was $35 tonight, and that for last night. That included the water and electricity. Harvest Host and Boondockers, they ask you to contribute 15 to 20 bucks towards water and electricity. So, you know, all in all, this was really nice. I really enjoyed it. But it's time to fold these steps up right here and hit the road. Might add, it got down into 20s last night. We slept very comfortably, very warm, but it's really tight inside. Our second night on the road, we spent in West Monroe, and we found this site through Hip Camp. And this was our site last night. And just a few campers here. Right outside, there's Debbie. Right outside of West Monroe, Louisiana. Hey, 35 bucks, water, electricity. My next door neighbor, he lives here all the time. Very nice guy, helped us, gave us a few tips. Last night, our third night on the road, we stayed in Azle, Texas. Pretty neat little place. It's way out from a little town called Azle, and they have electricity, water, sewage, and there's no one here. I think these are some places that people may come and just store their campers. I'm not sure. I hadn't seen any traces of anyone. Well, here is a story to end all stories. Of course, we are in our mini RV right now.
Yeah.
We're in our truck camper. Last night we stayed in Azle, Texas, not too far from Fort Worth.
Yeah, probably about 20 miles, I guess.
But we were not supposed to stay here. Long story, but I'm going to tell it to you. It's worth telling and repeating because we don't want to repeat it again.
That would be correct.
We subscribe to two organizations called Boondockers Welcome and Harvest Host. 170 something bucks a year entitles us to stay anywhere of over 8,000 places in the U.S. absolutely free. Some are available for one night. Some you can stay 2 or 3 nights. Some come with electricity, water. Some come with sewage.
And Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi. Some of them.
Come on.
The problem with those two things is because of the way we travel, Debbie calls it spontaneous. Like we may not decide we want to stay somewhere till an hour or two before we get there. But these places like you to leave as much notice in advance, sometimes more than 24 hours, sometimes days. But some you're able to book the same day, some the next day. Well, this place we booked for Saturday and Sunday night. Oh, by the way, today is
Saturday.
It's Saturday morning. Last night our plans were to spend
Friday.
Our plans were to spend Saturday in Waco.
Yes.
And Friday night in Waco.
Right.
So we booked a place for one night near Waco, a little town out from Waco, about 20 minutes out. And from what I booked the same day, got confirmation, even spoke with a gentleman, and he told me he was going to put us under an RV shelter, which how cool is that?
Yeah.
Well, I typed in the address yesterday, and from where we were at Thursday night, it was about 5 hours.
Nothing takes us the same amount of time as they say it takes.
Exactly. It wound up taking us
about 9
hours. Well, we got to this place about 9 o'clock, and I said, oh no, we're at the wrong place.
No, we were about 6 o'clock here.
Yeah, okay. It was
6 o'clock Central Time.
Yeah, exactly. It was right before sundown. But I recognized the little building from the pictures, and I said, oh no, we're in the wrong place. I Googled. We are about 2.5 hours north of where we were supposed to be. So, I was upset, big time. Debbie was too. She just wasn't seeing anything, and that's probably a good thing because when she gets upset, it's like a tornado. So it's best for her just to
keep my mouth shut.
Exactly. She doesn't add fuel to the fire sometimes. Anyway, I left. I said, we're just going to get a motel. But we got a few miles down the road. So, well, she said, why don't you see if the people will let you stay tonight? Well, these people, they don't like you coming in at dark. And there's a good reason for that. It's because the roads are twisty and turny and the deer and stuff like that. And if you have a large RV, it's hard to maneuver. But she was quite understanding. She said, no problems. You're welcome to stay tonight. And so I contacted the guy near Waco, and he laughed. He thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, because that wasn't the first story that involved him.
Exactly. But it's what was the other one?
You were supposed to be there. You booked the reservations to be there in Waco on Thursday night.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But it was just, golly, mind-blowing. Anyway, he said, no problem. I'll see you when you get here, whatever that may be. He's not busy. So our plans are to be there Sunday night. Sunday night.
I'm keeping a journal now.
So Debbie had to start writing this stuff down because, hey, you can't make it up. Turns out this place here so far seems to be pretty nice. I found out they have a washer and a dryer here. They have fresh produce for sale. They have
eggs for $4 a dozen, which if you bought eggs lately, that's a pretty good deal for fresh eggs.
Yeah, Debbie doesn't eat fresh eggs.
I might have to
if they're not brown, and it makes no difference.
It
anyway, it's been an experience. Well, we are up. We've got the camper all packed up, and we are ready to head into Fort Worth for more adventure. And we'll check in with you tomorrow morning. And I don't think there's anyone here, but here is their little office. Boondockers welcome. Welcome to the farm. There's some dogs over there watching me. I think that's perhaps where the hosts live. This is pretty cool. It says this is not an amenity, it's a perk. Check this out. A washer, a dryer, and a refrigerator. Books. And it looks like someone even left peanut brittle. You get a dozen eggs, $4 a dozen, fresh from their farm. Peppers and canned goods, donations can be left in the box outside. Look, there's some frozen peppers and stuff. They have water, preserves, and all. This would be our fourth night on the road, third night at a totally separate place. Funny thing though, every night we have spent on the road, our campsite has all been number one. Also tonight. This is the place we were supposed to stay 2 nights ago, but I goofed up and went in the wrong direction. Anyway, we're finally here, campsite number one, and I believe it's his only site, but check this out. Here's a farmhouse right there. That's the guy that owns the land, and here is the farm. But look where we're staying tonight. Up under shelter. It has sewage, electricity, and water. It's covered. It's on concrete. That is pretty good. And we got this through Boondockers Welcome. Pretty neat thing. You call and you make a reservation and you arrive, and hey, it's free. They ask that you leave a donation for the utilities. Anywhere, 15, 20 bucks. Not bad. Can't beat it with a stick. We are at an historic Sinclair gas station built around 1950 here in Fort Worth, Texas. And I can see that you're probably wondering right now, why is Carolina Tony dressed like a snowman or a mountain man? I don't know. That's because it is cold here in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's take a look around at this historic gas station. Looks like gas was 44 cents a gallon. I promise, back in the 1950s, the lay of the land probably did not look a lot like it does now. It is built up a lot of commercial stuff in this area. We're parked across the street. Still, it's a pretty cool place. We are in Abilene, Texas. It is about 12 degrees. We're putting gas in the beast. I call it the Bat. Big, truck, you know. Last night we had to stay in a hotel. The water has frozen in the camper twice. So as long as it's in the 30s, it's fine. But when it gets down in the teens, it does not do very well. Probably at this point, I really don't know what we're going to do. The rest of the day will just unfold before us. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. We are on the road. We got as far as Amarillo, Texas. 2 nights in a row, our water froze. Even after I drained and blew out the lines with the air compressor, still had a little freezing. I think I know why. I could probably fix that in the future. But based on the next several days, the temperature will be in the low 20s and the teens. And let's just face it, while it's warm in the camper and it's warm traveling, to be able to get out and do anything is just unbearable. Really cold. So we're headed back to South Carolina. Add to the fact, add to our woe, GPS took us down a path in Fort Worth, Texas, through a neighborhood, and I ran under a tree with this camper, and the tree ripped off the vent cover to our refrigerator. We stopped at Lowe's and I bought some tape to give it a temporary repair. We're not using the refrigerator anyway for now, but this is not a repair that I can really do properly on the road. So we're headed back. So far we have driven a little over 2,100 miles, and it's been so a good trip. We've stayed in a few hotels for the last few nights because, like I said, I just can't handle my water freezing, and I'll have to address that for future trips. But let's climb back in the truck and move on down the road. Well, it's late, but here we are, Oklahoma. This is southern Oklahoma. We just crossed over from Texas. We're kind of on the southeastern corner of Oklahoma. That's where we will stay the night. 9 days on the road and right at 3,000 miles. And we have returned back to home base. Trip did not go exactly the way we planned. We had planned on being on the road for probably at least 3 weeks. We were going all the way to Death Valley this time, but the weather did not cooperate at all. You know, we could have got by with between the camper and the motels. That would have worked, but being in the 20s and in the teens, it's just too cold to get out and enjoy things. A lot of things were closed. Wasn't one of our best trips, but we did see some things that were pretty interesting, and I hope you will enjoy those videos as I upload them in the days and weeks to come. This camper thing was new to us. We kind of enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to seeing what unfolds in the future. We learned a lot. We learned that we can actually survive being cramped up in a little small place and enjoy it. It was fun. I enjoyed that part. You just have to, there's a learning curve to it. Nonetheless, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.